Getting our first look at what the old Great Northern Mall could look like if plans are approved.
It could become its own thriving community ahead of Micron's arrival. Good evening, I'm Jeff Kulikowski.
And I'm Krista Casciano. The long-awaited transformation of the old Great Northern Mall into a first of its kind in this area, town center, with everything from housing to shopping, dining, medical, and a community center.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. Hart Lyman Companies and Conifer Realty today submitting a site plan application to the town of Clay. So joining us now, Guy Hart, managing partner of Hart Lyman. Guy, always good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So I want to ask you how significant it is, because we've talked about these plans before. How significant to put that site plan application in?
Well, it's been a long and rigorous process and collaborative, I might say, with the town of Clay and Onondaga County, getting to where we've gotten, all the way down to our building materials at that site. We've been very specific in trying to create elementally the project that we know the town of Clay is looking for, that's befitting of this first major town center in Onondaga County, and culminating in what we're doing.
If you could give us a sense of how big this project is. We hear it's massive. Just how massive?
Right now it sits on 215 acres. It's certainly over $1 billion project.
Wow.
Healthcare hub for our northern region, which will reach all the way up and service communities up into the North Country, Oswego County and beyond. It will be an entertainment, live, work, play.
Everything.
Facilities and housing for a wide cross-section of people in our central New York region. A type of housing, a type of community that has not been built, not in Syracuse or Onondaga County, but to our ability to through our research, we haven't seen anything quite like it this side of Cleveland or Boston.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you then, why do you think this kind of town concept? I know Micron's down the road. How close? I mean, but like, why can this work here? How close are they? I know that's part of it.
We're backyard of Micron. We're less than a 5-minute drive from the Micron site. In addition to that, what we did is we looked at markets like the Research Triangle down in Raleigh-Durham, or at Charlotte, Columbia, South Carolina. We looked at cold weather climates as well, places that have seen that have had great demand and at the same time have seen great growth. And we looked at what worked in those places. I think we had 100 inspirational projects we looked at. A few we honed right in on. Part of the reason we ended up with the partner Conifer was their experience in some of that kind of stuff. And we came to where we are very confident in the design that we have today.
What's the timeline?
Well, that's a good question. I think outside stakeholders will have some influence on that. Certainly, we believe we'll be through the permitting process in Clay pretty quickly because of that collaborative process we've had up till now. So assuming that happens at the time frame we think, we'd like to be under construction on first phases by Q4 this year. And the project could go 5 years and be completed, but understanding that 2 to 3 years out, people will be enjoying those first phases, and we'll be meeting a lot of those needs.
Got 30 seconds left, and I have to ask you this one because your stories line lights up all the time. Until that starts, the potholes.
We're working on it. Last fall we did some patching. The winter comes through and makes it tough. It's going to be a major construction site, so you have to just kind of stay after it until you can rebuild the whole road.
All right, well, we want to keep following this. We're going to have you back on to ask you more questions, and hopefully by then the potholes will be fixed. Guy Hart, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Guy.